The FDA is in freefall. Their commissioner resigned. Their top drug reviewers just walked. And the person now running the agency? Not a doctor, not a scientist, the food guy. Meanwhile, a drug just delivered what oncologists are calling unprecedented survival results for one of the deadliest cancers on Earth. A $7 billion radiopharma takeover is brewing, and Washington is about to drop a bomb on the entire China drug licensing pipeline. May 28th, 2026. A lot is happening. Let's get into it. Story 1. The FDA is in chaos. Let's start where the whole industry is focused. The FDA. On May 12th, Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary resigned. But what happened after is what has the biotech world rattled. The acting directors for the FDA's two main drug review divisions walked out. Then the chief of staff. Then the chief AI officer. In under 2 weeks, the leadership layer of the most powerful drug regulator in the world essentially emptied out. This matters because the FDA decides whether new drugs reach patients. It sets the standards every pharma company must meet to sell a product in the US. When that agency has no stable leadership, billions in R&D, years of clinical trials, and millions of patients waiting for treatments all exist in a fog of uncertainty. So who's running things? Kyle Diamantas, previously the FDA's top food regulator. Not drugs. Food. No medical degree, no clinical background. One industry analyst called his appointment a nearly impossible charge for a non-scientist leading a science-based agency. The FDA now has 3 of its top positions filled by acting officials. And under federal law, that status expires in 210 days. Until a permanent Senate-confirmed commissioner is in place, no one in pharma knows what the regulatory playbook looks like. This isn't just political drama. It's a patient safety issue. Watch this space closely. Story 2. A pancreatic cancer drug just made history. Now something genuinely extraordinary, because science doesn't stop, even when regulators are in chaos. The company is Revolution Medicines. The drug is daraxonrasib. The disease, metastatic pancreatic cancer. The one with a 5-year survival rate of roughly 3%. The one where once chemotherapy fails, we've basically had no good answers for decades. Their Phase 3. A Resolute 302 trial just reported what the company called unprecedented improvement in overall survival in previously treated patients. They're planning to present the full data at ASCO's plenary session, the most prestigious stage in oncology, and have already announced plans to file with the FDA and global regulators for approval. Here's the science in plain English. Over 90% of pancreatic cancers are driven by mutations in a protein called KRAS, which was considered undruggable for years. Daraxonrasib directly blocks the active form of multiple KRAS mutation types simultaneously. Not just one variant, the whole family. That's the breakthrough. If this gets approved, it would be the first meaningful survival advance for late-stage pancreatic cancer patients in a generation. That's not hype. For a disease this deadly, unprecedented is exactly the right word.
Story 3. A $7 billion radiopharma takeover is on the table. Now let's talk M&A, because one of the biggest potential deals of 2026 is quietly taking shape. Lantheus Holdings, the leading radiopharmaceutical company behind the prostate cancer imaging agent Pylarify, is reportedly weighing a sale after receiving a takeover offer from Curium Pharma, a private equity-backed nuclear medicine company. Reported valuation, $7 billion. Quick explainer on why radiopharma is so hot right now. These drugs combine a targeting molecule that homes in on cancer cells with a radioactive payload that either lights them up for imaging or destroys them from the inside. Precision oncology at its most literal. The sector has been one of the fastest growing in all of medicine. Lantheus has been on a serious run. Market leader in PSMA PET imaging, a growing pipeline, and strong financials. That's exactly why Curium came knocking. When the news broke, Lantheus shares jumped 9% in a single session. No deal is signed. Talks could wrap in weeks or fall apart entirely. But in a biotech M&A market that's been red hot, a $7 billion radio pharma combination would be one of the defining transactions of the year. Story 4. Washington wants to kill the China drug pipeline. And finally, a policy story that could reshape American pharma for a decade. Here's where things stand. In 2025, 48% of all large global pharma licensing deals involved Chinese biotech companies. AstraZeneca, Bristol Myers Squibb, and others have been paying billions to license drugs discovered in China. It's become a critical part of how U.S. pharma fills its pipeline. Now Congress wants to shut it down. Two House committee chairs, Representative Brian Mast and Representative John Moulinar, have both written to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent demanding that biotechnology be added to the COINS Act, a law that already restricts U.S. investment in sensitive tech sectors in adversary nations like AI, semiconductors, and quantum computing. Adding biotech would mean licensing deals with Chinese drug companies could be restricted or banned outright. The argument: American money is funding China's plan to dominate global biotech. China's 15th five-year plan literally names biotech as a national strategic priority. The risk: cut off Chinese licensing deals and American pharma pipelines get a lot thinner. Innovation slows, patients wait longer. And with the FDA already in crisis, that's a brutal combination. This debate is going to define biotech policy for the rest of 2026 and beyond.
4 stories, 1 massive day. The FDA has no real leader and a ticking clock. Revolution Medicines just cracked one of cancer's hardest problems. A $7 billion radiopharma deal could close any week. And Washington is debating whether to cut American pharma off from Chinese innovation entirely. That's your biotech world. May 28th, 2026. Hit subscribe if you want this every day. Drop a comment on which story hit hardest for you. Until tomorrow.